Hello, good morning. I don't even know where this is yet. Oh, setting it up. It is live streaming on YouTube. We are currently, oh, hang on. We are live streaming on YouTube, recording this podcast. Good morning, everybody. I found that this is the best way. Awesome. This is the best way to get the podcast to YouTube is to live stream it. So if you hear this Saturday morning and you see it and want to say hello, feel free to say hello. Yeah, I'll come back and check the chats occasionally if I remember. Welcome to another episode of the Unique Beauty and Meditation Podcast. I am Karen Slack. I am an intuitive, empathic, spiritual life coach with a passion for helping people connect with their. Can you hear me better now? Now that I have my little microphone outside of the scarf that I'm wearing. I have a passion for helping people connect with their true self, helping them visit with that unique light inside. I have a passion for connecting with the energy of people, places, situations, and items. I'm working actually currently on expanding that by experiencing the energy of spaces a little bit more, which I have loved, but that hopefully will be for another episode. I love sitting with my clients and getting to know them and helping them reflect on situations that are happening in their life, reflect on energy patterns within their life that maybe they're looking to get rid of. I love helping them maybe find some peace within the chaos of life. I love exploring self-discovery and awareness and different perspectives. I have this, like if I move over here, you see this light. For those of you who are listening on Spotify, I'm in my camper. There's a window behind my computer. And for those that are watching, you can see this light shining on me. So if you see this light change, it's because there's a bright, sunny light coming in the window behind me, behind my computer. So anyway, that was a little bit about me. I figured we have been moving along this True Colors meditational journey for quite some time. And it's been a deep, powerful journey. And for those who have not been moving along this journey with us, I encourage you to go back and check out the last few episodes. We moved through 3 colors powerfully. We connected with the energy of our inner brilliance, which I definitely want to go back and listen to that meditation often. We reflected on how we can live vibrantly and what pain we get to release. And then our last podcast, we connected with the amber color, our creative energy. So I figured since we've been moving through some pretty hefty stuff and heavy work lately, I figured we could visit and chat. I know I can't chat with you directly because you're not here with me, but I figured it would take this podcast to reflect on our journey through the True Colors meditational process, in life lately, and some energy, some experiences that I've had that I've really appreciated the depth of the energy within those moments. So yeah, I don't know what we'll talk. I have a few ideas and we'll just talk and share and give you a glimpse into a couple of moments in my life this week and what I learned from them and lessons that I wanted to share with you. And if you have some experiences in your life lately that you've been more aware of the energy and the experience and the emotions, you've been more immersed in them, whether it's simply because or because of this journey that we've taken recently, I would love for you to share with me. Reach out and share with me what you're experiencing energetic lately. And if I share an experience that I'm having and it resonates with you, let me know. That helps us all. Sharing as a group, let us know that we're not alone. Yeah. So, okay. Couple of logistics. As we start off this podcast, I want to remind you that any of the tips, tricks, or ideas shared on this podcast are meant for spiritual entertainment, enlightenment, energetic awareness purposes only. If you have physical or mental health concerns, please seek a physical or mental health professional. And if you like what we talk about on these podcasts, this one's going to be very casual today. Let me know. Leave a review. Shoot me a comment. Send me a message. Let me know what you're experiencing in your life, as well as maybe share them with a friend. Follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, so that you can get notifications of when there's new ones. That helps me know to keep going with them, and that you're receiving them, and that it's an interesting topic that you would like to experience. Okay, so here I am in my camper. You might hear a little white noise in the background because I got my little space heater going. I got my little scarf. It's casual Saturday morning when I'm recording this. I got my mug of coffee, my hat on, got my cozy blanket, and I'm ready to chat. I'm out here doing some work. To be honest, I'm trying to find my focus to do a bunch of work that I have listed to do today that I'm not quite finding my way to. I'm not quite finding my motivation. So hopefully this podcast will help me find that motivation. But I did start out my morning with a bit of a mini meditation, no pressure, just listening to some root chakra music, letting myself center. It's been a wonderful week. The Amber meditation that we did in our last podcast was probably about a week and a half ago. And when I'm recording this, a week and a half ago, probably 2 weeks since, I don't know, either way. I definitely want to go back and listen to that one again. I listened to it twice, and then I moved into a week, and life like took off, and it sparked my creative energy, that's for sure, because I walked out of the Amber meditation, and within a day or so, I found my spark to create jewelry again. And I created, I don't know, I think 10 or 11 different bracelets and made a bunch of earrings. So it really helped me find that creative edge inside of me. When I make jewelry, it helps to move energy in my system. I find myself getting back into jewelry at times where I need to, a couple of different times. When I have this passion and want to create something and it feels like I need something tangible to work with, jewelry is a great way to do that. It's kind of meditative for me. I put on music. Sometimes it's meditative, sometimes it's other, and I just pull out a bunch of stuff and I make what feels, and I don't have to plan it. I don't have to figure it out. I have some inspirations of things that I want to make. Some of the most wonderful energetic experiences I have are sitting down and just making what comes to mind doing jewelry. And I find that I end up making more jewelry at a time where I am looking to move energy in my body and mind. Maybe I'm feeling stuck. Maybe I'm feeling overwhelmed. Maybe I'm moving through some more shadowy emotions. When I pull out jewelry making at that point in time, it really does help me move through that energy. So that's something I kind of want to remember. It's a season. Admittedly, I make jewelry in seasons. I dive right in, it becomes my hyper focus for a while, and then I walk away from it. But I think we all have stuff like that, right? So after we did the Amber meditation, I absolutely dove right back into that creative jewelry making space, as well as life, the energy in myself in relation to things happening in my life shifted. I found myself more energized for lots of stuff, like ready to get into the experience of things. Does that make sense? Like, I found myself walking into a week that was quite busy with clients, and I loved the experience that I had with those clients. And I found myself telling the universe, I really enjoy this and I really would love to do more. Can you help me out with that? Some of the experiences were intuitive readings, which I had stepped back into a little bit more deeply, that I had been focusing more so on maybe energy sessions and spiritual life coaching and meditations. but to step back into a few definite, more intuitive readings felt really good. And they felt like again, it was something that I'm like, I like this. I like this energy. I like doing this and I want to do more of it. And it encouraged me to create the intentions to welcome more of that in my life. And I'd have to say, the True Colors meditational journey, and specifically the amber color, I think had a little bit to do with that. Whether it was the amber color, my intentions, my gratitudes I was working on, the energy of the universe, everything just lined up, and it really energized me to lean into what I was doing and why I was doing it again. So that was my experience with the amber color in this last week. One of the things that I've loved about this week is that I have been able to step a little bit deeper into the intuitive readings that I offer. And there is I enjoy that because there's a surrender process for me. And when I'm stepping into an intuitive reading, it's like I'm creating space for the awareness and for our divine circles to come through, and I just simply share what comes up in the messages, and there's a surrender to it that I appreciate looking back on the week. Sometimes going into the readings, there is like oh, what am I going to do? What if this doesn't work? There is that apprehension. Absolutely, there's apprehension and anxiety, but that's what makes that surrender and openness even more powerful, to be able to sit down with a person or their energy or a couple of people in a space and be like, okay, I don't know what all is going to come up, but I fully surrender to the divine support and our divine circles and welcome these messages through. And I enjoyed it again. So thank you to the amber color for helping me connect with creating that intention in my life. I wanted to share with you, had reach out, and I didn't pull it up ahead of time. So let me see if I can fit. I don't have her words specifically because my phone doesn't want to connect to it. She had shared that the amber, she has been doing, Patty shared that she has been doing the True Colors meditational journey along with us. And that she did the amber color and really enjoyed it. She said she felt like she could really, here we go. Oh my gosh, so many things. Please be patient with me while I look it up. So she said, I listened to the latest podcast with the amber color. She did it early in the morning and she enjoyed it the most so far of all the colors. I love that. And she said she was planning on listening again. And that's one thing with that amber color, any of the meditations, but especially the amber color meditation, is that it's really great to listen to again and again. She said she felt like she got immediate results. And she said she felt it in her heart and in her head. And even before I mentioned the heart, she felt it there. And she said she felt like it was very important and necessary one to listen to around this time of year. At least it was for her. So one thing that I wanted to touch base on with her sharing, thank you, Patty, very much for sharing. But one thing I wanted to touch base on with what she shared is I felt it. I felt it in my head and my heart. And she said, I felt it in my heart even before you mentioned heart. I've had that experience with a few clients this past couple of weeks where we're moving through a journey or we're moving through a meditation and they're like, I felt it in this even before you did, even before you said it. And to me, that offers two things. It offers validation that you're honoring your energy and you're immersing yourself in the experience, but it also validates that you're connecting with that intuition inside of you, and you're allowing that intuition to not take over, but you're allowing the intuition to come to life a little bit. And when you're like, oh my God, I feel it in my hands and she just mentioned it and I felt it before, it's almost like your energy and your spirit or your intuition get excited that you're listening, and you're letting your spirit, your vibes start to guide your way. So that's a really cool thing when that starts to happen. And it's completely okay if that doesn't happen. Everybody has their own experience in meditation, hence the unique meditation concept. However, sometimes that does happen, and that's really kind of a cool experience. So thanks for sharing, Patty. Yeah, so admittedly, I don't have a lot of prepared, this is what we learned from this whole journey. I think there was some really powerful reflections that happened for many people through the True Colors meditational journey. The brilliance color, I'd say for me, was one of my favorite, most profound moments through the whole journey. But I also am going to revisit this amber color often. And it's been some heftier work. It's been some deeper journeys. So maybe we get to allow ourselves some space to be lighter and be carried and healed and nourished by our meditative practices or our self-care as we move through the end of the year versus moving through the work like we did with the journey. I think the journey was perfectly placed as we transitioned into deep fall, moving into winter. But I think maybe now we get to relax and sit back and chat and let our meditation and self-care practice nurture us a little bit versus exploring. That being said, I want to take a moment to invite you to explore the events that we have going on the Unique Beauty and Meditation website. I have some events up. I have 3 healing circles before the end of the year. 2 are in person and 1 is virtual, as well as I have some really great end of year readings that are happening. So if you're interested in your own reading or your own meditative experience, let me know. Visit the website. And if you enjoy this podcast, share it out, make a comment, subscribe. Okay, now that the logistic stuff is done and we've talked about the True Colors meditational journey, let's talk about life a little bit. I'd love to just share a couple of things that happened within my week and that became more of that offered some awareness in my life. And if you have any moments that have happened to you recently where you were able to pause and connect with a deeper awareness or a deeper understanding throughout that experience, that's pretty cool. Feel free to reach out and share. The one experience that sticks out the most to me is, let me back up. We've had a lot of really cool experiences with my eldest daughter this week. She is a senior, and she's had a really great week of some cool stuff happening. And as we move through her senior year, there's lots of lasts, and then there's also lots of firsts as she continues to move forward into wherever she decides to go on her journey. But it seemed like this week there was some really cool moments, like her getting accepted to college, her getting her license, going on her senior trip. That really, me personally as mom, I have allowed myself to immerse fully into this experience of what does a parent feel as their child graduates high school. And so I've really enjoyed watching her brighten, watching her vibrancy, watching her zest for life, the excitement as pieces start to fall into place. And it's really cool to witness, and witnessing also some of that creative, positive energy momentum that can happen in our life. She's a perfect example of that. So I've really enjoyed watching that this week. But there's one experience that stuck out to me this week. We've had the same pediatrician Leah's whole life. She's been with us for almost 18 years. And I enjoy, she's helped us out with the girls' health and being the girls' pediatrician over the years. And she's always been very down to earth, and I never felt rushed. And she was always on time. So as a professional, I appreciate her as a professional, I should say. And there's a few moments that I've had with her over the years that kind of stuck out to me, that were small little moments. And I wanted to make sure that, I don't know, like we moved into, I don't even, hang on. So anyway, we've had this pediatrician for 18 years. And we moved into this appointment knowing that it was going to be Leah's last appointment with her, also knowing that her pediatrician was going to retire. So she's not only the last visit with Leah, but it's the last visit with us as a family with her, because Ava goes to see this pediatrician too. So we knew that this was the last time we were going to visit with this woman that's been a part of our family's life for almost 18 years. And when you have somebody in your life like that, like a pediatrician or a dentist or somebody, you see, like we saw her, maybe 15 minutes, 4 times a year. Like it wasn't like we spent a ton of profound time with her, a ton of quantity of time with her. However, those times that we did spend with her felt very focused and on purpose, and we felt taken care of. So when we went to visit her pediatrician for the last time, we went in and we brought a card and some flowers. And when our visit was done, she told Leah that, I'm going to miss you and I'm going to miss your family. And she got a little sappy, and I started sharing that she's made a difference in our life. And I shared a couple of moments that I hold dear that stuck out the most to me, and shared that she was important to ours. And next thing you know, I'm crying and the doctor's crying and we're hugging and we're having this whole moment of thank you for being a part of this. And of course, this week, it's amongst the whole senior mom stuff. So it just felt like a rather profound moment to step into, to acknowledge her as a cornerstone within our life. And when she left the office, and we were waiting there to finish up the appointment. And I looked at my daughter and I'm like, this is the stuff. Don't be afraid to say it. Like if there's one thing that I could offer my girls or anybody in life, is don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to say it out loud. Even if it feels awkward, even if you're, nervous to say it, don't be afraid to say it out loud. Tell somebody how they feel, how they make you feel, or tell somebody of their importance, or tell somebody the good stuff, that emotional connection that you have, or that what inspires you about them, what you find exciting about them. Like that stuff we get to share. And sometimes it feels awkward, and it would have been just as easy for us to go into that doctor's appointment, to do our thing, to say goodbye, and have never had that conversation. However, that conversation will sit in my heart as an important moment, and hopefully maybe it'll influence. We know that our pediatrician knows that she made a difference for us. So that was a really cool experience. And although it was a tear-jerky moment, if any of you know me, I'm not afraid to feel the feels. I'm not afraid to be in the feels. So I appreciated that moment for the richness that it offered my day. And it stuck with me. And I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, I've heard this story before, because I shared it with quite a few people because it felt important to me. So I do feel like we get to take a pause and reflect on what moments offer richness to our life. One of the recent collaborations that me and Dr. Meredith at the office have done was a class on boundaries. We did a little mini session talking about boundaries. physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, energetic boundaries, all of that. And I walked away from that session with the awareness that I want to add some richness into my experiences as we move through the holidays. The notion of taking a moment to prepare myself energetically for the day, but also one of my intentions for moving through the holidays after that event was to connect with the why and the purpose for the holiday, to connect with the tradition. I don't know if tradition is, but the why and the purpose and the tradition, and to think about some of the ancestral energy that comes up through the holidays, and just try to take a time out from the hustle and bustle of when are we going, what do we have to do, what's everybody wearing, what is the meal that we're, what is the dish that we're going to pass, and just be present and allow some of that richness into those moments. So that's one of my goals for the holidays, is to add the richness, to allow that richness. So my question for you, how are you adding richness into your life? What moments stick out as a vibrant moment within your life that add that richness into your life? And they get to happen on professional levels. They get to happen on personal levels. We're both professional and personal individuals. And sometimes it's great when we let those worlds mix and meet in. One of the other rich moments from my week, I don't know, I felt like all of the clients that I visited with this week offered richness into my week, and being able to witness their energy and to reflect back what I experienced from their energy it's humbling and exciting, and definitely adds some richness into my life. And I have definitely lived more vibrantly this week because of it. And I guess that leads us back to some of that red color, that how do we get to live vibrantly in some of these moments, like the crying with my daughter's pediatrician, or getting excited when my daughter passes her driver's test, or enjoying those moments with clients. Those are the ones that offer the richness and vibrancy into my life. This week, it's different each week. Next week, there'll be a lot of family, and who knows? I don't know. I'm excited to welcome more of those. And when we take purposeful moments to pause and reflect on them and allow ourselves to immerse in them fully, I think that's pretty powerful. Yeah. So there you go. That's what's going on with me. Creative energy with the bracelets, and rich moments in my life, and just stuff in general. I hope this makes sense. Thank you if you're still listening. We're going to finish off with a card. I have a tarot deck I was gifted by a client, the Luna Soul Tarot. We're going to pull a card out of here, and we're going to ask for this card to honor this notion of celebrating the richer moments in life. Alrighty. Oh, we're going over here. Ace of Cups. Oh, automatically. I love this. Oh, so many things in this cup. First thing I saw is the notion that my cup runneth over. It's the first thing that came to mind, is the idea that this cup is full. It's overflowing. There is growth and beauty within this cup that is ready to be shared with the world. I love that this cup sits on the lotus blossom, because all of this fullness and growth and beauty and overflowing abundance comes from a flower that grows through the mud. So to me, it honors that we have come up through that muddy part of our life, that muddy season that we've been in, and we are now supporting a full cup, supporting this full, abundant, loving experience within life. And that we get to celebrate that. We get to celebrate our growth. We get to celebrate rising above. We get to celebrate all of the abundance that is in our life, that is so much that it's flowing over. We get to share that with the world, and we get to be seen. This cup has some ornate, beautiful things on it, as do we. We get to be seen fully for who we are and trust that we get to experience these rich moments. We don't have to work hard at them. We just get to allow them within our life. We get to be solid in who we are and trust that we can receive fully as we are, not who we're supposed to be down the road, not after meeting all the expectations we carry, as we are. Love this card. So those of you that are on Spotify, I'm going to put a picture of this up on the Instagram. I'll tag it on my social media, Instagram, Facebook. I'll put a picture up there. You can go check it out. I will pin it on Instagram. I don't know if I know how to do that on Facebook, but check it out. Very cool. Well, thanks for visiting me with this Saturday morning, and hopefully helping me find some motivation to get some things done. I know I can mark one off because one of them was to record a podcast. When you're hearing this, seeing this, take a moment to pause and reflect on those rich moments. And if you feel like you're ready for an end of year reading where we can connect and we can touch on where your energy is currently, and we can connect with some options and how it will help you move through the end of the year, I'm here to support you. Just reach out. As always, continue to celebrate your uniquely beautiful self and allow those rich moments in life. Thank you.